Howdy. Welcome to Ausgrave Royalty. I am Justin. Good to speak to y'all. The real ones know that I record my seasons in bulk, so this is actually my first time recording in 2023. I'm a little out of practice, but hope you'll bear with me. I guess for y'all, like, the last video was just a week ago, but here I am. Yeah, glad to be back. And with that, I hope y'all enjoyed season 3 on Bolen's Gods and Goddesses. It was nice to get unapologetically subjective for a bit. And I really thought she brought a different alternative angle to the discussion of archetypes in general. So maybe you know now whether you're a Hephaestus person or an Aries person or a Athena woman or a Hera woman or all that. Yeah, let me know what y'all thought about that. And I hope y'all enjoyed the sections of me kind of bouncing off of each of the figures as we went through them, as it related to my own life, so that it can mirror the process that y'all could go through for some actual insight, like using it as a tool, so to speak, keeping it practical. So yeah, every season I do a postmortem on the previous season, and this is just sitting back, chilling out, doing a level set, just some channel housekeeping stuff, where we're going, what's been on my mind, what I've been up to. Yeah, just it's May 12th right now as I'm recording this, and yeah, a lot happens in 6 months to anybody, and I'm no exception. So, looking at my notes here. Yeah, and I'm just so grateful that I had the opportunity to put all that stuff I'm looking back on my 3 seasons, like, not bad, Justin, not bad. And, it's not all sunshine and roses, but one thing that I think I'm doing correctly is choosing great material. And, I'm not the best presenter, but I'm not the worst. I'm just grateful that it's going to be out there for posterity, and I think it's I'm patting myself on the back for a good starting point. Me being alone, doing all this completely on my own. I mean, it's a lot of material and it's all pretty damn good in my opinion. So, let me look at my notes. Yeah, with the gods and goddesses, archetypes, all that, blah, blah, blah. Again, like, I can't look into each person and know how to solve their problems, but maybe I can give tools and ideas that at least illuminate what problems there are. And I've said this a lot, but often the awareness of a problem is enough to dispel the problem. You ever have one of those moments where life hits you with something, or your friend tells you that you do something and you're like, what? Oh my God, I do that, don't I? I never saw it that way. And then it never happens again. Because you have that framing now, Those are the kinds of things I want to help heal. I think those are the low-hanging fruit. Maybe, that doesn't solve every problem, but with the more complex, nuanced problems, that's going to require an action plan tailored to each individual's life. But again, even knowing that you can't solve a problem if you don't know it's in front of you, and I think the archetypal paradigm helps illuminate those problems that present themselves as kind of a general malaise, Um, yeah, so just some notes about this season or this recent season producing it. It was a lot of work. And it's crazy. I got so cocky because I had already read the material even before I started the channel, I think. And, I'd underlined and whatever. And I'm like, I can't wait to do this material because I've already read the books, But it was a lot of material. It was a labor of love, but it was just meaty and dense, and I actually had too much. And it's amazing, like they say in comedy, you have to kill your babies, which means like you write all these jokes, but you have to, you only have a certain amount of time in your set, so you have to get rid of some things you might actually really like, but that just don't make the cut. It's amazing how difficult it is to reduce information. You'd think gathering information is the time-consuming part, and it is part of it, but whittling it down into scripts, and y'all know I'm always like rushed at the end, because I like there's so much value in like the material. I want to include everything. It's hard not to, first world problems, but it is a challenge. So I underestimated how much work it would be, even though I knew it would be a lot. I didn't think it would be. I thought I would have an easier time because I thought I was ahead, but it really wasn't that big of a leg up on the schedule. Yeah, I need to improve my note gathering process. I think it's good, but it's not great. And you'd think by now I will have refined and iterated in some way, but there's challenges there, maybe for another time to go into, but I haven't made enough of an effort yet. Or, I'm always on the lookout for tools that'll help, but often the tool is so much, there's like a learning curve to it that I just end up taking the notes anyway, my normal way, and I put it away. But I know if I invest a lot of time up front to learn the tool, it could save me a lot of time down the line. I know all that. I just haven't, I keep underestimating the effort, So, again, like, I've said it, I just said that, y'all have noticed I'm pretty rushed at the end sometimes. And sometimes I think maybe I should just get a better camera that can record longer than 30 minutes, which my camera can't. So, but then I think, in a way, it's a blessing because that puts a constraint on me to provide as much value as I can in 30 minutes. If I can't say it in 30 minutes, should I even say it, You see what I'm saying? Because I want to respect your time and not fluff anything. So I'm worried that if I expand it, I'll open the door for more fluff when there shouldn't be, It's something I'm struggling with. I haven't come to a conclusion yet. For the next season and for the near future, as far as right now is concerned, I'm sticking with a 30-minute format. In terms of format also, I'm going to be doing once every other week for videos. I just need a bit more time. Again, I'm on my own, and to research and make all this material, write all the scripts, take all the notes, record the videos. It's just a ton of work. And, I really need... So let me back up a bit. I'm very pleased with where the channel is in terms of the content. And when I started the channel, I was prepared for, like, a lot of criticism. I was like, I'm ready, bring it. Even the unconstructive criticism, which I expect from the internet. But also the constructive criticism from, real ones. What I didn't expect was just no engagement. So as it stands, my videos are lucky to get over 10 views. And so that tells me that it's not so much that my videos are bad or whatever. they're just not being seen. So I'm not even, I have to actually reach the point. I have to earn the right to be criticized, because to be criticized, you have to have people watching it, but nobody's or hardly anybody is watching. So that tells me I need to work on marketing. And I'm pretty confident that's what the issue is. So I want to slow down the content and open up the opportunity cost of time to the marketing side. From the beginning, I've underestimated marketing. So I want to see what happens when I actually take time to focus in on it. And I've got some plans about that. So what else? Yeah, I'll talk more in detail about my plans for that in a moment. I want to shift gears though and just relate what I've kind of been up to as a person. I do have a life. I'm a mammal, flesh and blood. So in April, I turned 38. I know I still look 12. I'm starting to think, like, at this age, am I immortal? Do I have eternal youth? Because I still look like I could be in high school. I'm starting to get scared. I feel like maybe I hit 40 and then I aged 20 years in 1 year, to catch up. And unfortunately, as a man, it's not advantageous to look young, because young equates with inexperience, and inexperience relates to incompetence, and it's harder to get yourself taken seriously right out the jump. So, but I always joke that when I'm 70, I'll be able to pick up all the hot 60-year-olds, because I'll still look young. Anyway, yeah, I turned 38 in April. I'm a Taurus. Happy birthday to me. I still have the same 9 to 5. I just, whenever the inner voice created by David Goggins or society or whatever, grind culture, is like, I could be doing more. Someone tells me, this is why I despise the Nike slogan, just do it, because you can never just do a thing. Doing a thing as it stands implies a vacuum, that all is open to you and you just do the thing, right? But see, you can never just like lift weights, for example. You can only lift weights while you're paying rent, and you can only pay rent while you have a job. Now, depending on how skilled or how paid that job is, let's say you have to have training. So you can't get that job unless you get the training. How do you get the training? Maybe you go into debt. And you have to eat food. Maybe you have a family. Maybe you have friends. Maybe you have a relationship. Maybe you have kids. So when somebody says, oh, just go to the gym or just, diet, whatever, just do it. You can't just do that. You have to do that while juggling every other dimension of your life, right? And no one is a being of infinite energy. So you have to be very careful. Yeah, you could do whatever you want, but burnout is a thing, and it's the oldest chestnut ever told, which is, people overwork and then they never want to do it again. It's like yo-yoing in diet, which I can relate with. Anyway, I'm not, my point is, like, nothing can be done in a vacuum, right? So you have to really pay attention to where your energy goes. So I think that's a more realistic, down-to-earth sensibility rather than just do it or I'm not doing enough or whatever. And I heard a good expression like time rich versus money rich. I thought that was a good dichotomy that I've been searching for in terms of like what my priority is, which is time rich. I know time is money and they're related, but it helps give a language to what I'm looking for, maximizing time. So yeah, I have been gaining weight because I've been taking the effort that I would have, set to dieting, and I started learning Unreal Engine, the video game engine, because I want to make a video game. I think like philosophy, my comedy, music, my technology background, like all my life, like all those interests kind of coalesce or could conceivably coalesce into a video game. So I like the idea that it uses all my interests kind of in one medium. And maybe, I won't like it. Maybe it's just a romance and I'll put it away. Or maybe it changes my life. I don't know. Either way, I want to figure out whether I like it or not. So I'm learning it. And right when the stars seem to align, because right when I made this decision, Unreal came out with Unreal 5 and all these sexy updates and making it even easier and even better than ever, more accessible for people to learn. So I felt like that was kind of a sign, synchronicity, if you will, to use the Jungian phrase. So we'll see how that goes. If I start making a game, I'll release devlogs, probably on my other channel, but I'll sure as hell mention it on this channel, if and when the time comes. And this channel takes the priority over that. So we're talking about, it's like the lowest high priority that I have going on in my life. The channel currently comes first, and the marketing efforts and all that come first over Unreal, which is why I'm doing this now and not Unreal. One thing I don't want to do is put like the channel on pause to go do something else. I want to keep the ball rolling, but I'm not above extending the timeline out for seasons, which is what I'm doing here, every other week instead of every week, to give myself more time. So that's the compromise I came to, better or worse. Yeah, I've been gaining weight. It sucks, but there's a season for everything. I have like a comedy bit I've been thinking about, like, you want to know what a real tragedy is? A really in shape dead person. There's nothing more offensive to the aesthetic sensibility than a really in shape dead person, as opposed to a really dead fat person, because that the fat guy, he lived, man. He lived. He enjoyed himself. But yeah, the worst thing you could do is like right after leg day, you die. Oh man, that's just so sad, Anyway, that's kind of what I was thinking of. But again, there's a season for everything, and I've dieted before. Between, my mind is like, would I rather learn Unreal or gain weight? And I'd rather learn Unreal. History will be the judge whether I made the right choice. Wish me luck, fam. So, yeah, I also have like, it's crazy. Have you ever gotten anxiety? Not anxiety, not with a capital A, like a mild anxiety or preoccupation or fixation or rumination about a really good thing that's coming in your life? Like usually you think it's bad, right? But I tend to get restless and all over the place when good things are happening, and very good things are happening very soon for me that are kind of personal, which I'll reveal later. But like, again, that contributes to the lack of willpower to be able to diet at this moment. So it's just an interesting thing. I started to be vague and tease that, but it's just a reality of kind of where my mind's been at. Just a little fun tangent here. I've gotten into cinematography, as if I couldn't be more pretentious uh, with my hobbies. It's a long story. I've been learning about the Aria cameras and cinematographers, and now when I watch movies, I watch them with like a cinematographer's interest, you know? So it's breathed new life into my interest in movies. And I want to shout out a couple movies. I mean, it's been a pretty decent year for movies overall. I saw Air, and I mentioned Nike earlier, but it felt like a spiritual sequel to one of my favorite movies of all time, Good Will Hunting. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. Air is incredible. And I grew up in the Jordan era, so I really, got a kick out of that. I'd highly recommend it. John Wick 4, of course, and R.I.P. Lance Reddick. Yeah. But yeah, John Wick 4, it's just like, it's inspiring because you can feel through the movie how awesome a time everyone had making the movie. And that, for somebody who's doing a lot of things maybe not smart or immediately like rewarding, like YouTube channel and all that, I'm tapped into my passions, and that's what really makes life grand for me. And I feel that same resonance with with John Wick 4. Like when you're doing something you love, it kind of is contagious, It's kind of abstract, but that might have been just wild projection on my part. I'm fully willing to accept that, but nonetheless, that was my subjective experience of it. Another surprising thing, a movie that came out of nowhere, was the George Foreman documentary. I think it was called Big George Foreman. But I'm really into boxing, and I've just done boxing for fitness. I think I fantasize about sparring, but now that I'm 38, I don't know if I should be, I wish I would have discovered it when I was younger. But I absolutely love boxing, watching boxing, Hajime no Ippo, the anime boxing, and learning about Mike Tyson and, boxing history and all the techniques and stuff, and the chess game going on with the movements. Just really exciting. I find it better, more enjoyable than UFC, even though they're related. Something about boxing, I'm not sure, but... And speaking of boxing, Creed 3. It didn't blow me away, but it was really good. And I'm, of course, appreciative that Michael B. Jordan cited Hajime no Ippo as an inspiration when making the movie. So he's aware. And there's Hajime no Ippo references in the movie that I'm glad that I caught, So I'm a real one. I'm a real fan. Beau is Afraid. So I discovered Ari Aster. I had seen Midsommar. I liked it. I'm running out of time already, so I can't go into it. If you want me to talk more about movies, let me know in the comments. But talk about a well-made movie that's impossible to recommend. Ari Aster himself, I think he said it was like a Jewish Lord of the Rings, or like the Odyssey, but it's just about a guy trying to go home to mommy. Ari Aster, I appreciate anyone with an original voice, and Ari Aster is one of those filmmakers, so at least respect there. But it's a super weird movie. I can't recommend it. I don't think anyone... It's hard to tell whether anyone would like it or dislike it. What I do know is that they won't forget it. It's an unforgettable movie, for better and worse, I would say. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. Before I close out the video, or the last remaining comments here, I played, Unreal, right? Making games. I've been playing games forever. It's time for me to give back, right? And you know, the fact that making games is now a thing on my radar, it's opened a gate in my mind, and coming through the gate are just observations. Like when you become interested in boxing, you're seeing all the boxing stuff, like things through a different lens, the cinematography lens, no pun intended. Like, oh, that's good cinematography. Oh, the lighting. Okay, I see why I did that, because dark lighting, dark script, dark character, whatever. But there's like a flickering light, and whatever. Like same with games now. When I play games, I'm thinking about the gameplay loop and why am I enjoying this moment? Why aren't I enjoying this moment? If I were the creator, what would I be doing to help this? And I played a really good game called Detroit Become Human, and it's like a narrative game. And I thought probably a previous gamer iteration of Justin would have hated this game. But we've been inundated with these open world games that maximize player choice, giving you a complete, oh, there's a mountain way over there. Awesome. I can go to it. That's incredible, right? This is so immersive. Except none of it really means anything because it's all spread out and kind of there's no curated experience. You're making your own, but it's pointless. It's like it turns into a collectathon. You're doing all these menial things, but Detroit Become Human is the polar opposite of that. There's very little player freedom, but every time you play it, it means a tremendous amount, right? So I'd encourage everyone to play that game just to get a taste of, how you feel when you play it. And shout out to Clancy Brown, man. Whew. What an actor. Oh my God. I'm in love with Clancy Brown after that. Rewatched Shawshank Redemption. Man, shout out to him. So just in the few minutes that are left, last thing I've been kind of into, and that relates to my marketing efforts. So yeah, I need to take better notes, but I am obsessed with AI. Like over Christmas in 2022, I think it was November that ChatGPT was first released to the public, and it got millions of requests for access and all that. 2023, every week this year has been like some huge innovation. Now there's DALL-E, Midjourney, there's all these AI utilities now that are coming out, and notwithstand, even over ChatGPT's new version, which is a lot more advanced than the one that was released just in November. And we all know how technology goes, right? Like the internet adoption and cell phone adoption. Cell phone adoption was exponentially quicker than even internet adoption. So AI is going to take off incredibly fast, and it's May 2023, right? Like I'm calling it now that in 2023 we're going to see AI go from its infancy to its adolescence. It's like a cute toddler right now, but it's going to be entering high school by the end, in my opinion, metaphorically. Next 5 years, we're going to be worshiping the AI god. No, in all seriousness though, I'm actually really optimistic about AI. I don't think it's going to take over. I think I see it as becoming the ultimate. It's like a godlike butler, an omniscient, omnipotent butler. But we'll see. So I'm playing around with AI tools to help with marketing, like generating art on Midjourney. So I'll be doing some cool thumbnails and all that. And with my last remaining seconds here, I just want to thank y'all again, and hope y'all enjoy the next season. I'm excited to start filming it. Comment down below. And I will see y'all in the next one. Good season coming up. Good season. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.